Good evening, guys. My name is Jessa Abrigadelta. I am going to rehearse tonight, and tonight I'm going to rehearse verse 25 of White Jasmine. But before I continue for my rehearsal, I would like to say my acknowledgements. I like to honor the Australian government for funding my music lifestyle. I'd like to honor and acknowledge the British government for the ownership of the English language. And thirdly, I'd like to honor and acknowledge the British royal family for the ownership of the art of writing poetry. And lastly but not least, I'd like to thank, honor and acknowledge YouTube, all the 10 members of YouTube for making it possible for me and supporting me in writing White Jasmine. The chord to verse 25, is G fret 1, C0, E4 and A5. So it sounds like this. I have practiced line 1, phrase 1, and it sounds like this. That is how line 1 sounds. And now I'm going to rehearse each words now. So line 2 says, to say you love me. So the word 2 is E3. So I go, to say you, to say you love, to say you love me. It's high, sorry guys. To say you, to say you love me, to say you, to say to sorry guys, I forgot to explain I forgot to explain in a flowing manner how I rehearse. So I always start with my acknowledgements when I rehearse. I always I've been working on verse 25 now for the last 3 days, or nearly a week now. And when I rehearse, I like to, that is already being notated. Each words already have notations in them. I have already done. So rehearsal for me is where I actually sing each each vowel in each words, and having sing the notations for each words. And I have a bit of a plan before I jump into do it. Like my routine, I always tend to drink warm drinks first, either a cup of tea, warm water, or a cup of tea, warm water, or like a tap water, because I find that if I don't do that, I crack so much I crack my voice, especially when I try to do vowel placement. If my throat is cold, that's the first thing I do. And then what I do is I go through right to the beginning. I practice line by line and word for word, and then and for leaf notes, I beautify it by putting let's say like an ending, because leaf notes should be a connector, even though it's like an end to the line, but it should connect to the next line. You know what I mean? So for example, I would say something like, for line 1, I would say, I can call for you. See, my word you is, that is the second, that's the next thing that I do, is I connect my leaf notes to the next line. So I make it sound ending to connect it to the next line. I make it sound like it ends to connect it to the next line. And that's the second thing that I do. The next thing that I do is I segregate them. Because, for example, on this one I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 lines. I sort of like divide it by, by almost like stanza. So I go for and then I have a break in between, because I don't think it's, I have a break in between. Because it is like, even though I sing with my diaphragm, I tend to also sing a little bit with my throat muscles, because that's just the way I am. I'm sorry. So and that's how I achieve a more finer tone with my voice. And then the last thing that I do is I reverse sing it all the way up, and that's how I can sort of like familiarize myself with the notations in each words. So that is the process to my rehearsal. And then this is the second time I've actually recorded. I deleted the last one, but this one I'm going to keep the video. I'm going to keep the video for this one. So I'm going to take you through how I do my rehearsal. Like maybe about, 15 minutes, just maybe 2 lines, And so for example, I is G fret 2 for first line, can is G fret 0, and ko is C fret 5, and 4 is C fret 7, and U is E fret 2. So So then I would individually, I have been practicing line 1, so I would individually pluck each note. So I go I for G2 and then G0. But I always, my habits that I have also a form now is I always tune my ukulele before I start singing. I always do it now because there is a certain pitch that I'm after for A, for E, for C, and for G. And my ukulele, guys, after tuning it, it sounds like this: 4A, 4E, 4C, and 4G. And that's how I like it. There has got to be a differences between A and G. And the way I see the differences is through C3 and G6, no, G4. So it goes C3, if I pluck C3 and G4. See how there is a difference now. See, this one, G tends to have more of a bend and it's longer. There is like a, so if C3 sounds like this. And then G4. See how there is like a bend to the note on G4. I can't seem to find you. So there is a difference. And then also, guys, with there's gonna also be a difference. These four notations that I always check. E2 and C5. See, there is a difference. My C5 is actually higher than E2 now, which is that's the way I like it, because my strings now are really tight now. But I like it this way because I can only sing past this at this point. So the vibration for each strings doesn't vibrate as long not past this point on the 5th frets of all strings. So yeah, I hope I have also taken you through how I rehearse on my own, and
incoming voice call from private number.
And I'll see you later. And I hope you'll have a good day. Bye for now.